Welcome everybody to the 2020 Hike to Highlands virtual festival. Today's guests are Nancy MacDonald, a retired medical records and hospital stats person, and Evelyn Hiltz, a retired school teacher. Today's topic is going to be about travel and trip planning for international trips. Both of these ladies have experienced some great lessons in trip planning. And so we want to welcome today and kind of share their stories. They're going to talk about Chile and Ireland. So we'll start off with the Chile trip. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Chile? And want to go with Nancy first?
Sure, I'll start. Going to Chile was all my fault. It was something I saw on Facebook, and then I sent it to my sister and says, "Want to go?" Just thinking she'd say, "You're insane." But she said, after a few days, she's like, "Why not?" So then we started planning. We were in contact with the lady who was running the tour, found out like she is from Newfoundland. She had a niece who lives in my community. I'd never met her, but like there was a lot of connections. Her family lives in Musquodoboit Harbor, not far from here. So, we felt quite comfortable signing up with her, even though we were her first customers. Want to add to that, Evelyn?
No, it is funny because I'm adventurous, but not that adventurous. And when she said Chile, and basically was, well, why not? So off we went.
Yes,
but we did a lot of planning before we got there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's typical, especially when you've never been there before.
Well, exactly. I knew little or nothing about Chile. I've certainly learned a lot. Before the days of the internet, you used to have to write away and get maps and travel information. So thankfully now you can get that all in your keyboard. And it makes it so much easier for planning. Download a map, pinpoint where you want to go, what you want to do. And then when you see it on a map, then you can determine whether or not it's actually feasible to be able to do all of those things. So fortunately for us, we managed to find a few things. Evelyn found some tours. I found some tours. We decided which ones we wanted to do.
Okay. So Evelyn, you want to talk a little bit about what you did in Chile?
Well, the tour that we went on, the lady was really good, gave us information, but we did a lot of research too. So when we flew into San Diego, we did kind of the touristy stuff. So we went around the city and kind of checked out, we did the cable car and things like that. But then when we went out, we hiked through, would be like orchards and vineyards. And then we did some up into the foothills of the Andes, which was really nice. And then we went out to, and I never say this right, something to Flaca. And it was the hardest hike I'd ever done in my life. And we hiked up, got way up, looked down to see the community we started from. And I thought, oh, haven't we gone so far? And I looked up, and the Andes soared above me, and I realized I really hadn't gone anywhere. But it was an amazing trip, and the hiking was beautiful. It was just in vineyards of the Andes, which was really nice. And then we went up, which was March, by the way.
That's the other thing. You have to know what the weather is going to be like where you're going, because we were there at the beginning of March.
It was an amazing trip, and the hike we started.
Yeah, so it was at the beginning of their fall season, because otherwise, and it was like 30 degrees Celsius every day.
By the way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That certainly changes how you hike. Probably very early in the morning.
Well, we did it. We hiked in the morning, and we did cultural things in the afternoon and evening. So the tour we went was really nice. So we got to experience the food, the music, the drinks. So, and we just had a good time experiencing all these other things, which made the trip full, because we just hiked, that was lovely. But to experience the culture, the people, that really filled it out. It was lovely.
Okay. Let's move on to Ireland and tell us your experience with
But to
that one.
experience the culture, the people, that.
Well, the Ireland trip was well planned, but never happened, thanks to a certain little COVID-19 issue. But we have got all our plans in place, so we know what we want to do when we actually get to go.
Okay. Now you touched briefly on this in earlier discussion, but I just wanted to tell the audience a little bit about the trip planning that you research and the safety precautions when you go to a new country. What sort of things did you do to get ready for Chile?
Well, we checked online with the Canadian government, and they have a good website that tells you what to be aware of and scared of. And the only thing they came up with in San Diego, which is the major city, was to beware of pickpockets. Well, that's pretty well obvious and anywhere you go. We did a lot of reading, and you got to use your head too. You don't go in dark alleys and, you know, be stupid. Pretty well obvious. It was a very safe country. We felt very comfortable there. We didn't feel we were being stalked or checked out by anybody. So we said use your head too. You don't go in dark. That's very important that where you're going, you have to feel comfortable. And basically, there was the two of us traveling a lot on our own. Well, two women on your own, you got to have a little bit of savvy there. So use your brain.
Yeah, and not only that, there's also, besides checking the travel advisories for the different countries that the government is so nice to provide, right now it's like, I just took a look before we started this and it's like, do not travel, do not travel, do not travel. But there's also, if you're abroad, you can register with the Canadian government, all your details. So if something happens that your family needs to get a hold of you, they have a way of contacting you through the government. Plus, the government will let you know if there's any, you know, in the event of a natural disaster or whatever, they can get a hold of you. And then they kind of know where their citizens are. So if, you know, if you're going to be in danger or whatever, so they can let you know those sort of things. So.
Okay.
And also, you know, then there's the communication with your home. My husband called me every day when we were in Chile. Every day.
Wow.
So, but what? It was kind of nice. But what you can also do is when you're in another country is like you take your smartphone, but buy a SIM card. So then you have like a local phone number for that area. And
Right.
so you don't get all the like roaming charges and whatnot. So I've been investigating that. So when we go to Ireland, I'm going to be buying a SIM card for my smartphone. So
Gotcha.
my husband can't call me every day.
Also when you're traveling, one of the things you're thinking, you know, when we were going to go to Ireland, there was 8 of us. 4 of us were going to go early and do Northern Ireland, and it's really people's comfort zone, ability to hike, what they're interested in. So we kind of ended up in 2 groups, and then of those 2 groups, when we were in Northern Ireland, Nancy and I were going to do some hikes on our own because the other 2 are really not hikers. So it's really important to know who you're hiking with and their abilities. It's a relationship you build. You want everybody to be content.
Yeah, just in the Republic of Ireland, just below Northern Ireland, is a community called Westport. And one of the performers in the band owns a pub there. And just outside Westport, it's his name, by the way, is Matt Maloney. But his just outside Westport is Crowpatrick. And it's a mountain that's about 2,900 feet high. And it's the only mountain that I've ever seen that has a church on top. And the priests go there every day to give mass. And it kind of reminds me of Gross Mourne. You got to go up one mountain, and then there's another one to go up. And it's a tough one. It was even though it was 2,900 feet, it was tough. I mean, Gross Morin's the same way too. So you have to learn your abilities, of course. But if you do get to Westport, just outside Westport is Kilpatrick. Definitely go to see that one. It's well worth it. My next question is, in today's world of traveling, there is two different types of insurance that most people get: trip cancellation and medical insurance. On both of your trips, did you have both of them? Did you purchase the trip cancellation as well as the medical?
Well, no, we didn't. We didn't purchase the trip cancellation, but we did purchase medical insurance because you never know when you might fall down and break something. So medical insurance is definitely a must for everybody. Should have it some way, shape, or form. And in these days, yeah, trip cancellation. Well, we decided we were going anyway. So whether or not the company that we were going with, because they were looking for like 6 people to sign up, and we were the only 2. So we were worried they were going to cancel. Well, we were going anyway. We'd have found things to do and places to go. So because, airlines are like, once you buy that ticket, then there you are. So now I have a lovely credit with Air Canada.
Yes. So now you indicated that you didn't buy trip cancellation, but you did buy medical for Chile. What did you do the same in Ireland?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So
We did the same thing. We had, but we didn't have the cancellation. But we are to the wiser now because of COVID. I will certainly make sure we have cancellation.
yeah, so there's a couple of issues there. When I had a trip booked this year, just like you guys, except mine was Scotland, not Ireland. And I called on my travel agent to see about the trip cancellation insurance because we were hearing a lot of problems about that. And she said the day I called her and she called back, she said that 2 of the major insurance companies in the world for travel said they would not cover COVID-19. So I knew then I'm canceling my trip because anything can happen over there. And that's if you get over. And so, but now Craig indicated the other day that he was in Florida riding his bike and accidentally hit a bump and fell over, got a couple of stitches. They took him to the hospital and kept him in there for almost 8 hours. And he got a bill for $42,000 US for medical.
Oh.
So he was lucky. He had a medical insurance plan that he paid $1,000 deductible and the insurance company paid the rest.
Wow.
So there's another example of why you'd want to. Now, there's probably tons of examples about why you should have trip cancellation in case, like one day in Scotland, we were supposed to fly from Lerwick in Shetland over to Glasgow. And heavy winds and fog, the plane couldn't land, so our flight got canceled. And our flight from Glasgow to Halifax was the next day. And the lady said, I don't think you're going to make your plane because the ferry doesn't get in till about 8 o'clock and your flight is at, I don't know, 9:30 or 10. And we still have a 3-hour drive to get to the airport. So then all of a sudden panic comes in and you say, well, what do I have to do? Well, I got to change my flight because now I'm on the next day for the flight. Then I got to book a room again because I only booked the room the night before. And then meals and stuff. So I worked that all out. And RBC, I had trip cancellation insurance on the flight. And I would think when I totaled the whole bill, it's close to $1,500 and they paid for everything. So you see the benefits. I mean, normally, like you guys, nobody wants to cancel their trip. We want to go. But things that you can't control took over. and I'm glad I got it. So, okay, the last question I have is one that's probably in everybody's mind right now is COVID-19. When do you think it would be safe to travel again?
I don't think we're going to get anywhere until
say-
2022.
Evelyn?
Or 23. And I guess I'm kind of looking for the vaccine, and I don't think anything's going to happen much before the end of 2022 or 23. And so I'm kind of in my mind planning, I'm not going to be going anywhere over the country before 2023. I may be wrong. I hope I am, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, Denise, who is,
No, it has to be 2022 because that's when my Sunwing voucher runs out.
there you go. Yeah, now Denise, who's, she's an RN, a nurse working in Halifax. She's more or less said the same thing as what Nancy. The vaccine has to be developed and proven. And she said it'd be at least 2022 because of all, when they have to vaccinate everybody in Canada, it's going to take a year or more to do all that stuff. So you're looking at 2022 or maybe even, as Evelyn said, 2023. Yeah. So let's hope that they speed those timelines up so we can get back to traveling again.
I know. But then again, you know, we have lots of lovely places to see and go in your own province or in your bubble province.
That's true. And I find that I'm doing more.
We might get our trip to Newfoundland, Evelyn.
True. And I find I'm doing more home improvements because I'm not spending any money on traveling. Trips.
We're doing that too. That's why I have a sewing room now.
That's good. Good for you. Okay, well,
And I painted.
okay, Evelyn.
Oh, your audio's gone.
I said I have painted every ceiling in the house and all the woodwork. I'm tired of painting.
Okay. Yes. Yes. So we're looking at buying a 8x16 shed to put next to the property so we can put the snow blower, the snowmobile and everything inside so we don't have to move that stuff around every season because it's getting harder now as you get older. Anyway, on behalf of the Hike to Highlands Festival Society, we'd like to thank both of you for joining us today and sharing your experiences with Chile and Ireland, and hope that you get to travel in Atlantic Canada in the next couple of years, and then shortly afterwards back over and abroad. So thank you again, Evelyn and Nancy, for this, and we'll see you in September.
Thank you, Tom.
Yes, you will. See ya.
Okay, thanks.
See you, Nancy.